Then we can hear
It's hard to
them.
hear them, yeah.
And we're live. Hello and welcome to the reunion edition of Quant Gang and Game Theory Gang. I'm your host, Matty Allen, with special guests Kareem the Dream, Marco the Hexakin, and you all know our co-host, the validator himself, David Feeder. Welcome, everybody.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey guys, good to see you guys.
I do this for the culture. We're in Vegas out here. David, I wish you were here.
Yeah,
I know, me too.
I was just telling him, man.
It's been a minute.
I was just telling him, like, David should be here. David deserves to be here. You know? You do a lot, bro. We appreciate it. Seriously.
Yeah, man, definitely. I'll be at the next one, that's for sure.
And shout out to everybody in the chat.
Hey, look at the
Mr.
chat.
Ness, everybody else. It's been a minute.
Yeah, man.
Good to see you guys. Wanted to pop up. Make sure it's
Andy,
good.
okay.
You guys should have been here with us.
No, man. I wish, honestly, like people could see, like, what the community has done the past couple of days. Their environment, the conversations, the energy, like, it's dope, man. You cannot fake that shit. Like, excuse my language, you can't fake it, you know? Like, these people are real, man, and these people are doing things. Doesn't matter, bear, no bear, bull, doesn't matter. Like, people are just, they're here, and they're talking, they're vibing, they're having a great time. It's beautiful, man. And I haven't seen my man forever, and it's good to be here. It's good to have this feeling, you know? It's a long time, but yeah, man.
Being
We out
outside.
here.
I got stories for days.
Oh, you do?
Being with Richard, that was awesome.
Yeah, man. Let's go.
You guys know me, man of action. So out there onboarding. Miami is a vibe. If you ever come visit, I'll let you board. You know, follow on IG if you want to see minute per minute what's going on. But yeah, HEX.com is definitely on the map. Two cool stats that I like when I was doing with Richard. I helped him get his dad a car that was lit. Hit my plug. We got a little lucky. But hey, we got a Model X Plaid fully loaded in less than 48 hours.
Yeah.
That was lit. And then we onboarded like 7,000 people in like 4 days.
How many?
7,000.
You know how many days?
4 days. Woo. You know when we cracked the 100K and it's quickly out tonight, it's 107 plus? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You're welcome.
Good job.
So, but IG is the next thing. We run Twitter. 2023, we need to run IG. A lot of influencers there. A lot of new people that have a lot of money, especially in Miami, that know nothing about crypto, let alone HEX, but they have a lot of money ready to be onboarded. So come in, spend the time, you educate, you don't sound or look thirsty, very important. And then when you show them the lifestyle, then they naturally ask you, hey, what do you do? How do you get this? How do you get this lifestyle? And then boom, HEX.com. And you can back it up with what I always say. We stay, we date, and we chill. Because it's not just about making money. Some of those people make money, but they work so hard. It's about making money in your sleep. So that's how we do. Hello, Hawaii.
How y'all are?
Thank you for the $20 super chat. Thank you, Jerry. You rock.
Yeah, man. So I just want to say, like, it's been fun, like, this journey the past couple of months, right? Richard Hart traveling, a lot of other new hexes coming out, new channels, new projects happening. It's just exciting, right? And I always tell folks, like, at the end of the day, stay focused. Like, nothing has changed, right? Since day one we opened here to, like, the past 2 years, it's been chaotic. A lot of shit happened, but the rules don't change, right? We know what's the main thing is the main thing, right? We support each other. We help each other out. We do it for the culture. That's the main thing, right? And that's what it's about, man. So, we do our best. We all help each other out, So, I love it, man. It's fucking awesome, man.
Never lose sight of the big picture. You know what I mean? And the cool thing is, like, more blessings comes to you, especially when PulseChain is gonna come out, right? You're gonna get all your copies, right? If you're a T-share maximalist like me, you get a lot of free money left and right. Patreon event is doing good, right? A lot of free money. But the key is that it's because you delayed gratification. The key was you compounded on that good behavior that you did. This is what the blessing keeps on coming, right? You double down on what works. You only cut what doesn't work.
Yep.
When people give you shiny object syndrome, remember where you came from. Remember what worked, right? We're not going to say no name, none of that stuff. You know what time it is. So you got to make sure, always ask yourself, have I seen this before, right? And again, what works and what doesn't work. If you just remember those two things, because you know me, I'm never going to go and tell another man or woman what to do or what not to do, but I will always bring that wisdom. Because at the end of the day, we all got to make our own decision, right? It's not financial advice. It's only math advice.
Yeah.
Remember that.
So, Manny, what's new in the game? Like,
I mean, so, I got something that I unveiled last week.
Yeah.
I've been asking a lot of people here in
congratulations
Vegas.
on that, you
Yeah,
know?
thank
Oh,
you.
really?
Thank you.
Like, I think the whole idea, I think the most, like, people, we're so used to people coming out with something and you gotta expect profit right away, right?
Uh-huh.
And people hear that there's no incentives and stuff like that, and sometimes folks be like, "Oh, why not?" Stuff like that. But not everything we make has to have incentives, right? Like, we have so many different things already that's gonna be potential gains, not financial advice, etc. But we have so many potential things that's happening behind the scenes that, to me, the way I look at your thing is security. You're literally building security to be top notch, right? And the best you can. And so far, what I heard, I'm still doing my research on it. The more you release, I think it's great, especially for the
Thank you.
newcomers, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's perfect timing for PulseChain. I think newcomers need to understand like how to protect their assets as much as possible in a seamless, simple way. And it looks like you and Future Us is doing that. So congratulations, man. Honestly.
Thank you. Yeah, so like
Break that down a little bit more.
being here in Vegas, I've been able to like explain it to people over and over again.
Yeah.
So I think I've got the pitch down a little bit better than last week. Okay, so there are three main parts of SmartVault.me. The three parts. The first part is you can time lock your PulseChain and your PulseX tokens, right? So that's valuable because the majority of the APY in HEX comes from time locking, not from like inflation. We know that because 75% of the coins that are user controlled are time locked currently, and the average is 6.5 years. So that's my evidence on that. So like time locking, it's a good deal. That's the first part.
It's important.
The second part is being able to have a drip. And so we simplified this recently since the last week. The idea now is the amount of time that you've served is the amount of time that you're allowed to withdraw. The minimum withdrawal time is a week. So that's still a hard limit for security purposes that I'll go into in point 3. But the second point of having a drip, the idea is if you make a 1-year stake and you wait 1 week, well, 1 week is 2% of a year. So you can withdraw 2%. You don't have to. That's the amount that becomes unlocked after a week. Now, if you lock for 10 years on a different stack of coins, then 1 week is 0.2% of 1% of the amount of time that you've served. So you can withdraw, 0.2% of the amount of PulseChain or PulseX, or really it's any ERC or PRC20 that you can time lock. So that was the whole idea there, was to give people access to time locking and to make it in a way where you get experience, not like screwing it up all at once with sudden wealth syndrome. You got like a drip.
Question.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and staking directly in the Pulse Fund country?
You can still vote for a validator and get yield that way, because there's nothing in the PulseChain contract basically that's going to say, like, you don't have to move your coins to vote for a validator.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And so
what I mean is that
you can change every day. You could change to a different validator, even though your coins are locked for 10 years.
Yes, you're building a contract, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess let me rephrase is, what's the smart contract risk? Meaning, it's kind of like why I stake Quattro Single myself versus staking through, let's say, Maxi. Because like Richard said, why would I take the smart contract risk? Because I'm sure probably, you guys are going with audit, right?
Yeah.
So if I were to play devil's advocate, that's what I'm asking. What's the difference? Is it because I'm getting an extra yield with your contract because of time locking, or is it? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if I stake the regular way, which I'm planning on doing anyway, and I can obviously unstake any time, which is for those who are weekend, that may not be good. That's why this could be good.
Yeah.
But then again, yes, it is good. But yes, there's also smart contract risk,
Yeah.
right? Richard got a big team of devs. I trust that more than anything else. But then again, if I'm gonna trust the other one, I'm gonna see the audit. So what's the difference? Does that make sense?
So like smart contract risk is totally dependent on the quality of the smart contract and how well it's written. Like, I don't think that there would be any situation where Richard wouldn't have his devs look into it if it becomes a major thing, which I think it will. So it's like, everybody needs to do their own research, but at the end of the day, you're already trusting a lot of different things between MetaMask and between,
Yes.
all the different blockchains you interact
Yes. Which are smart contract risk, right?
Yeah.
MetaMask is battle tested.
Yeah.
Richard earns my trust from previous stuff. This is the reason why PulseChain is not launched right now, because he wants to make sure it looks good all the way.
I agree.
And even after that, we're still all taking a risk, level of risk. So I'm looking at it like quick math probability. This thing here has a risk, but this thing has some type of track record. This other thing has risk. What's the difference what's the trade-off? Because if I'm getting the same thing, I'm going to go with the thing that's less risky. If I'm taking an additional risk simply because just do the track record, right? It has nothing to do. Maybe the contract's perfect. What's my incentive? Am I getting an extra yield for that risk, or am I, like we were talking about I co-star whatever. There's a risk there too, but might be a reward there too. Does that make sense? So
the incentive that everybody's going to have to understand, or they don't have to, but
I'm sorry, I've just heard about this.
The way that HEX works is the majority of the yield comes from time locking, not from a token that you're getting more of. So that's what this is designed to do, is to save you from yourself. But the third part, so we already talked about time locking, we talked about drip. The third part is, in certain situations, if you get hacked, you can steal the vault back from a hacker. And
that's the part that intrigued me when I heard about it.
The way that this works is like,
That could help a lot of people.
it's like you've pre-selected addresses that you could switch control to.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's a cold wallet that you have that's never interacting with the blockchain. And maybe on top of that, it's a family member that you have. And you would rather your family member or friend get it before the hacker would.
Of course.
Now,
that's possible. Okay. So
Now,
basically, you get hacked, you can still salvage the phone.
Yeah.
So-
So, for example, like my HEX, like God forbid, and like I'm still learning it. He released this a few days ago, right? Like from what I got in the same when HEX 19 situation happened, there could have been a chance where he could have transferred his stakes the right way, flawlessly the right way. If that was an option for him, he could have been okay, just like many hexes.
This is what a smart wallet really is useful for. Yeah.
So it seems like that's what they're trying to build. And I think that's a beautiful thing, right? So now, can this be for everybody? I don't think so. But there are going to be some people that their security is top notch and they want to do things for the PulseChain and PulseX and stuff like that. That's fine, right? I think there's different levels to this, right?
Yeah.
And there's those that we cannot keep on holding their hand over and over and over, trying to teach them, hey guys, your keywords are safe. Is this safe? Is that safe? This is something they might be able to use. Like I said, I don't know. I have to read the audit too. I have to do my research on it too. And they, right? Like, this is what I love about the show in the past and what we do. We see something, we try to validate it as much as possible before we promote it, right? And then it goes into what we make ourselves and what anybody makes themselves, right? I think it's great. So far it seems great, but
like
battle testing.
Richard talked about the game theory of HEX before HEX was released. That's what I'm trying to do here. It's already been helpful because I was going to make the fee, which is a really cool system as well. I was going to make the fee required to be paid in HEX, and I had a really clever way to not make the gas fees expensive for that. But in presenting to the community, I realized that would be like a minor tax situation that I don't want to cause for people. That's like my choice, that I don't want to cause that. So basically, whatever coin you're time locking, that's what coin you would pay your 1% fee in. except you can choose to do a 5-minute waiting task and you pay 0% fee on the entire thing. But it's for the impatient people that are there. They don't want to wait 5 minutes. They can pay me and my dev 1% of the amount that they're time locking. No harm, no
It's
foul.
like lowering the gas fee and throwing things on this way. Yeah.
If you only serve 4 minutes, well, you only made it 80%. So 20% of 1% is the fee that you pay to us. So I think it's a fair system where people are choosing to either pay themselves less of a fee to wait 5 minutes and practice that, like you do in HEX, or
The
they
thing is, to
can
me, it's
pay
5
nothing.
minutes, right? Like,
It sounds
like, listen,
it
man,
sounds easy.
excuse my language. Go use the restroom, come back. You're good,
You have to
right? Save money.
So we
okay?
changed it. You have to be on time.
Yeah.
So if you're a minute late, that's
They put on an alarm clock when you take it
20%
done.
of 1% of a fee of a.
Yeah, man.
I mean, the thing should go fast regardless because things to PulseChain.
Yeah, it's
it's
gonna
on
be-
PulseChain,
Yeah.
and it'll be faster.
Yeah.
Again, the only reason why I like to ask this question, because number one is right now,
I don't know
is-
anything about it too. Like, it's
is
good
because-
questions. Good questions. Yeah.
because it's all about setting proper expectations. So if I ever were to explain it or present to somebody, I'm like, hey, this is what it is, this is what it does, here are the risks, boom. Assuming what I used to do with HEX,
Yeah.
right? Volatility is a feature, not a bug. We don't care about that. Look at the yield. We're here to compound.
Yeah.
And when you do 100x, then you be like, oh my God, that's so lucky. Yeah, good, but the plan was, whether 100x or not, this is the yield, this is the game plan. I said it before, I'm gonna say it again for the new people. If you never sell the principal, the yield literally is pure profit. Price is generally irrelevant. Period, full stop, end of story.
Yeah.
So if you build something like that, that's bulletproof,
Yeah.
that has the security, which is really the key. That's why it's so paramount. Like the only thing you guys ever heard me talk about besides HEX was Hedron. Why? Because the guy spent 100 grand, he did the audit. Because that
Hedron's
has to matter. You know what I mean? So those are the things where we can tell people and sleep good at night.
Yeah.
That's my thing. You know what I mean? Because people are risk averse.
Yeah.
When you prevent something new, the same thing when we were doing with a sticker app, we're like, here's the additional benefit. Even trusting us as that company was an extra risk, but here's the reward. Here's you go a little bit out of your comfort zone, but here's what you're gonna have. Right?
I think like I said earlier, right? Not everything we make has to have an incentive, right? Don't get me wrong. Hey, I don't mind
By the
more
way,
money.
incentive doesn't have to
right?
be financial.
Yeah,
Let me
exactly,
do it,
exactly.
Like sticker app number
Exactly.
one incentive
Exactly.
is literally speed of access and convenience.
Yeah.
Because you get literally 4 websites in one,
Yeah.
and you can feel comfortable on board friends and family. They're not going to screw up. They're not going to get fished. They're not going to get to the wrong website. And there is no coin. There is no whatever. We just point to the country.
Yeah.
Like literally. So it's like, no, it's just be. And then, yes, when you do the transaction, that's where the small community is. But the key is, you don't worry about all the extra audit because it's literally the HEX contract, the Uniswap contract.
And I know, David is just brilliant in a lot of these things, right? And I haven't heard like your opinion on it, right? So, like I said,
Oh yeah.
we just found out a couple of days with this happening. Like Maddie said, no expectation of time frame, the work of others, because that's respectable, right? But what was your input on it so far over the year? So far, I think it's great for
It's
a lot
as
of
loud as
newcomers,
it is.
a lot of people I bring in, so I don't need to have to deal with, maintaining their wallet, helping them out, making sure their security at some point. Because I think if you show them the ropes in this, if this is all correct, right? I think it would be phenomenal. So for those type of people. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I'm actually excited for, and I don't know if anybody's talked about this yet, but setting up like drip accounts for my kids for the future, so I can just take some Pulse, and I maybe I'll do like 15 years, 20 years, and that's just for the kids, and then they can just take that drip as time goes on, and they can just kind of enjoy it over time. So I like that idea too. I think people are going to find really cool ways to use this for sure.
Now, one thing that Dollar Cost was advising me is to actually put a cap on the maximum amount of time somebody can stake, which is like, I know we don't want to do that, but at the same time, that could be an area of criticism. Somebody time locks for 1,000 years, literally, that could
Or made a
look bad.
mistake and accident.
So Dollar Cost was suggesting maybe since a 30-year bond is the maximum for like a retail customer, that maybe that would be a good limit. Do you guys have ideas on like why 30 years of a limit of how long you can time lock would be a good thing or bad thing, or where would you put it at?
No, I
That
mean, I like
sounds
the-
reasonable.
Oh, go ahead.
Like I was just gonna say that like a 30-year bond, like that's pretty reasonable. Because if I
Yeah.
give it to a 15-year-old, he'll be 45 when it's done. So that's pretty good, right? Like that's a good chunk of a lifetime. So I
It's only
think
two
that's
15-year stakes. That's all it is.
yeah, that's true too.
And after you've served a year with the drip, you could restake that for the 31st year basically. So you could roll your stake like that. There's nothing stopping you from that.
Oh, okay.
The logic behind the 30-year bond, for those who know, is actually because it's again market supply demand. If market wanted a 50-year bond, trust me, you will get that or 100-year bonds. The reason why they settle for 30 is because on average, the average person in his work or in his life work after finishing college, assuming they went to college, they will be in the workforce on average about 30 years, 30 to 35 years, before they usually get into that retirement zone, that thing. So they usually put it for that so that by the time they get to that age, boom, they will be able to start collecting. The same way you should tell people why Quattro Cinco is like, oh my God, it's so long. No, it's not. Because again, on average in your life, you're going to do 2, sometimes 3 15-year cycle. Who knows if, Social Security or whatever goes to like 7 years old. An average person would get that long. So
You know why it's important too to have something like this? And maybe 30 years. Because guys, in 30 years, we might have 2 different versions of PulseChain. We might have 3. You might have 8 different hexes by then.
Cops
So security, I think, is better than a few incentive coins and money and stuff like that, because you can make $100 million and if your security shit, you lose it all. So excuse my language again.
There's
But
nothing worse than making the money just to watch
protect
it
it.
stolen.
We need to protect it. And I think honestly, guys, I did phenomenal the first 2 years of HEX. God bless. Richard Hart, thank you. Community, thank you. Right, changed my life around. Right, PulseChain is gonna blow my head. Right, but I think now the year number 3 for me is more of protect the wealth, security, finance, get advice, do the right thing. That's my story. That's my stage, right?
Stay consistent with
People's stages are different, right? But I think that's why this is important, right? My wife is taking this way more serious, more than ever. She has her own account. I made her account too, so she should play with her own money too. Of course, we have our own money too together. And I think this would be perfect for her. So far, I still don't know, right? I'm still learning it, but security is important, and it's beautiful that we have Hexans make something that's important. Timeline.
And that's why I ask those
Pretty cool.
questions, because it comes from a place of love. Because you know what I mean. If we don't do this right, and then something bad happens, we can't just go back and say, "Hey, sorry." No,
Yeah.
it's people's fucking money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no ego here.
Yeah.
The question needs to be asked, because
Yeah.
if we don't ask, somebody else who will like, oh, everything's great, and then something bad happens, or somebody else will be asking that too.
Yeah.
So it's like, might as well just get it all out of the way now, so we can make sure we cover our own blind spot. Because it doesn't matter how smart you are, sometimes something simple you missed out. Somebody, hey, what about this? Like the cat thing or the whatever.
Yeah.
So it's good to have multiple brain into it, trying to plug holes at the thing. It's kind of how they do security audits. Battle test,
But think about it, right?
and then move on from there.
You're not stupid. You know your shit, right? David's not stupid. He knows his shit. Future us knows his shit. Wales knows his shit. A lot of people in this community knows their stuff. Maddie, you're telling, you're brilliant in your own way, right? Like, and it's good when we make these things, because at the end of the day, no matter how much you're a Hexagon, I'm a Hexagon, you're a Hexagon, right? We all gotta pass these certain check marks, right? Like, immutable code, if it is, it's not, AMI keys, etc.
We're lucky we have a checklist. We just have to go
It's
through the
beautiful,
checklist.
right? And in the future, I'm not saying I'll make anything, guys. I love making my wallets. I love making my shit. It's fun. I'm not making no market coin in the future. I don't know, but if I ever do something like that, like I hope, I don't care how much people think I'm great in my own ways. You cross every check through my list, and this is a blessing that we all learn. I think it's great, So
And that's the biggest gift we can give to the community.
It's cool.
Learning how to have critical thinking, think for yourself, And
Don't
if
be
you're
afraid to
armed
build.
with a
Don't be
checklist,
afraid.
not only you're going to be able to do better decision,
Yeah.
but then also, once again, PulseChain comes. The shiny objects come dancing in front of your face.
Be careful.
Don't forget your checklist. Because if you don't, and then you cut corner, don't come crying later when you lose all your fucking money.
Guys,
And then you're going to
if
be
you guys
like,
if you guys mess up and lose your pulse chain, we cannot help David with his nodes. All right? Don't fucking lose your pulse chain. We need it.
That's
All right?
right.
Come on. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna do it for yourself, do it for David.
Yeah.
And do it for yourselves, folks, please.
Patience, you know. But honestly, guys, I think this is great, right? Maddie, thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
relationships is weird, right? I think we all go through a lot of shit. We're all learning experience, right? I missed the Quant Gang. I think what we had was pretty cool, right? I think the community was loving it. I think it was great for the community. Stuff happens, you know. Relationships get built, patched up, and stuff like that. That takes time, right? Progress. We're here for 15 years plus, right? And I hope everybody's here more than 15 years plus, right? Because what I experienced, Kareem, me and you in the pool, having a good time, showed up, having a good time. This was not planned. And literally, in a split second, we looked at each other like, hey, maybe you guys want to do something just for the culture, you know?
Yeah.
And let's just do something. It's fun, right? And we go around, you see everybody, what the stories we're sharing the past couple of days is like, it's worth it, man. So build your relationships. Let's do this, right?
It's good
Let's
advice.
build shit. Let's make sure it's built right. I understand, listen, we're HEX guys and we want to like stab everything that gets made and stop it. And that's fine. Listen, we like Primo always says, we're kind, we're not nice guys. Remember that, right? And we just do our part. Let's have a good time, man.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
I like that point. I like that point of everybody coming together no matter what happened in the past. And, we got a really awesome question here that I think it's rare we get a question this good from Anthony saying, hey guys, big fan. I'm 19 years old. I was fortunate enough to get into PulseChain, PulseX, and
The
have
man.
multiple HEX stakes.
Yes.
What's some advice you all have for a younger individual like me?
good.
It's
Great
hard,
question.
man. It's hard because he checked almost 3 or 4 things you should do when you're young. So,
Yes.
Anthony, it should, man.
So-
You're already there almost, you know?
Great question. Number one, because you started well. Remember, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah.
This is the most important part of your life. This is where you got to hit
Quick math.
consistency, dollar cost average,
Yes.
right? Stay broke, not poor.
Yeah.
Find a way to make more money. You're
Eat those cup
19.
noodles, man.
Get into sales if you can. Get into
Yes.
commission. Make more money as you can. You're on a 90% dip right now. Buy as much as you can, okay? And keep dollar cost averaging. You already got your position. Even if you were to not get any more coins from here, you could be set for life. This is literally what I did when I dollar cost average all the way to bear market, all the way down to negative 85, 90%. And then the rest is history. When we lift out from there, we cross the penny and everybody knows the story. So you are in position. But remember, again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Consistency should be your best friend. But it could be your enemy as well if you don't have discipline. Okay? Keep adding. Don't see the money. Keep investing. When you lock funds away, you protect yourself from yourself. You don't go buy dumb shit that you don't need. Don't worry about the lifestyle right now. I know it's hard to see how people having fun. Just know that your time will come. Right? I'm 32 years old. I started making 6 figures since I was 21. Okay? And the overnight success that took 13 to 15 years. But now I can buy anything I want. I can go anywhere I want. And I can do that to the day I die. If you want this, this is when you start.
Curry's gonna be my sugar daddy.
As a matter of fact, just by listening to what I just said and being in position, you're going to be able to do what I did in probably half the time or maybe the third of the time. And that will make me proud because that means actually my advice worked.
And before you
And it's
go, right?
mathematical advice, not.
And Maddie, before you go, right? I think the question he has for us is a phenomenal question, right? But I think the question I have for you is this, man. You did all these moves at 19 years old. How can you convince your friends to do what you did? That's the real key because You did what you did was phenomenal. You don't need advice from us. What you did is I wish I would have done at 19 years old. I'm 35, right? Bro, by the time my stakes comes out, you just started the HEX, bro. Like, it's gonna be amazing for you. You got 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, etc. Right? How can you teach your friends to do what you did? Because to be 19 years old, to make that type of move, it's not easy, man. In this world, you're full of TikTok, you're full of crap, you're distracted. To make that decision once again at 19 years old, and all those moves you just made, phenomenal, man. Good job.
And that's what, to piggyback on what he just said, that's why you want to build a team.
That's
You
dope.
see, you guys see, it goes with IG. I'm in Miami. It's crazy. There's a lot of finesses over there. But the reason why I'm able to sustain the lifestyle and be great and stay grounded is because I have a team. I have people that care for me. I'm not just by myself. The power of being a team is that it excites you to want to be a leader, because now you're not just doing this for you. You're doing this to show and lead by example, by doing, taking action. Not by just talking about it, being about it, right? Human being, you do the thing you said you're going to do. Validity, the most important word in the English dictionary. Remember that. And when you take your friend along with the ride, not only they can learn from you, but you can learn from them too. That gives you an extra reason to why you do what you do, why you're sticking. Because you're showing them the way and they get inspired by you. Now they want to do what you do without being forced, because like, wow, he's doing it, he's living it, and I watch his account grow.
Yeah.
I can do it too because he's my age. And boom, similarities.
And the last advice I would have, that's it, right? Is you're 19, dude. PulseChain could come out in a few months. And I say that because what you did, no financial advice, no whatever, but you might see numbers that's unbelievable. You're 19 years old. You're gonna want to buy everything, get the fastest car, excuse my language, get the bitches, all that stuff. Stay focused, because it took you a year and a half to make life-changing gains, probably potentially at 19 when you're 20 years old, 21 years old now, right?
Yes.
Don't blow it away, man.
Yes.
Because it could go instantly. Go see Papa B, learn your security, go around the community, keep on learning. Don't think you're big yet. Keep on watching streams, keep on building. Because security is the main thing, and you're 19, bro. You got a long ass life ahead of you. Congratulations once again, but
Yeah,
be smart.
I would
right?
say my advice is take care of yourself. You know, like self-care, get sleep,
Health.
get exercise, you know, have healthy relationships. It's easier said than done, but when you break it down into steps that you can deal with, I mean, a wild SJ, who's also a YouTube streamer for HEX, she's been recording different HEX influencers reading Richard Hart quotes about health. And so there's lots of little things, even just drinking water, you know, getting sleep, all these little things that people can do. I would say take care of your own health, and that's going to help you compound your wealth.
Absolutely. Personal development is also key, because as you grow financially, you must grow mentally too. So you can handle the money that you're about to eventually receive when the stake ends. So that's one of the beauty about protecting yourself from yourself, because you're buying yourself time to grow as a human being, because you got to do the inner work. Money is an amplifier. If you haven't done the inner work, it's just going to be more amplified back, and then you're going to go into the path of self-destruction or be the person that you actually hate sometimes. It's crazy. So make sure you do that in tandem. And the cool thing is, as you do that personal development and you get a better person, your income also grows. So then your dollar cost average that you're doing is also going to be accelerating, because you're becoming a better person. You're working on yourself. You're working on your well-being. Your productivity increase. You make more money. Therefore, you can invest more. Therefore, you accelerate your wealth building. Everything is connected, right? I said it before, 2021, 2022, the number one skill, learning how to learn. Be a learning machine. The faster you learn, the better you will be.
And what's David's advice for this young man?
I'm going to go with the liquor one on this one. Don't drink alcohol or do drugs. The more you can avoid that, the longer, the better. If you never get involved with it, great. That will save you a fortune in money, and it will save you in your health. That would be my advice right there.
That's awesome advice. Thank you, David.
Yeah, dude.
He said don't drink or do drugs.
Yeah.
And listen,
If you can't handle it, definitely don't do drugs
dude,
again. But
listen, you're 19. Like I said, if what you say is true, you invested in all those things. You're gonna see crazy numbers. I'm telling you, you'll feel like I'm Scarface. I could control the world, dude. You're 19. Like, enjoy the wealth, be smart, spend it wisely, share with your family, share with friends. Not your wealth, your knowledge,
Yes.
right? Pass it on. What made you that? Once again, that decision, share it with them too. This is important.
yes,
I'm fucking like 19 years old. Good job, man.
yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Practice discipline and practice self-control. Again, whether it is, alcohol, this and that, some of those things it's not inheriting bad. What's bad
Listen,
is people who have low
I'll give you
self-control.
1,000 t-shirts that change ages, all right? Let me be 19, you be 35. I'll give you 1,000 t-shirts.
There you go.
Right?
There
And
we
you get the
go.
PulseChain version too.
There you
All
go.
right? Shit.
So as long as you're disciplined,
Beautiful, man.
yeah, as long as you practice discipline and self-control and you compound on that, things are just gonna open your way. And you're gonna be able to see the progress and then double down and then gets better to a point where it becomes second nature, right? Just like anything we do when you're learning something new. First you listen, second you understand, third you internalize because of repetition. To a point where you start doing it in your sleep. You start watching video on 2x like it's nothing. Because your brain is so used to download that data at a higher rate. You know what I mean? You went from DSL to like high-speed internet. You know what I mean? Blast. Fiber optic, right, David? That's where you want to be.
Starlink.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
But you gotta start somewhere, get a cable, but then you get the fiber. And that comes with discipline.
Maddie, I do want to say, it's interesting what you're coming out with, right? Hopefully, everything turns out well, right? Don't skip any steps. Make sure it's done legitly, right? The community trusts you. You've done an amazing job, amazing things, for us, and we're excited.
Yeah.
I think I'm more excited for future us. Guy's brilliant, and a lot of people don't know what he does behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He's not all over everywhere. He's on the street once in a while, and I think people should understand like his brilliancy because he works
Busy working.
He does it like this. And,
He's blushing right now.
and I know he is. He's probably something like fuck off. It's a real deal. So thank you for what you do too.
Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, oh,
Look what we found.
in the house.
Just
Get over
streaming
here.
right now.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, bit. What's up, my man?
Just continue what you're doing, man, and it's cool. It's
Yeah.
cool.
We're always here to add feedback. Again, we're doing it for the culture. We're here to have, ask feedbacks. Like I've said since the beginning, even when Hedron first came out, it's like everybody deserves a chance. You know what I mean? Now, once we go to the checklist, if something's no good, I hope the person want to fix it. If they don't want to fix it, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
We're just gonna agree to disagree. But everybody should have at least a chance because people are not inherently bad. Sometimes you just need guidance. That's just what it is. Because we all want to do good. We just got to make sure we look out for one another. We all got blind spots. Nobody's perfect. But if we put our resources together, our community cannot be stopped. We've done it before. We're doing it now, and we're taking over.
And that's what I'll say honestly is,
Yeah. Bang bang. Yeah. Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I wanted to make sure everybody knows about is that I believe Richard Hart will be speaking tomorrow online,
Yes.
and he's going to do it on the Crypto Sparbuck channel instead of like the regular PulseCon channel. So that's kind of
Yeah. Get the links. Spread the link.
that's something people should take note of because you don't want to miss a Richard stream. And
Especially it's the first stream pretty much since he got back from Miami.
that's right. So this is the official YouTube channel of A-Bit and Patrick, who created the Million Pulse Tour, the HEX Tour,
nice move, man. Nice move.
and I think they're the ones who are gonna have Richard on tomorrow as the parlay into like PulseCon. So
Last thing before I go, because we have to get ready for a party, and I appreciate this, is no expectation, work with others, right, guys? Do your research, learn, adapt, help each other out, and who knows? I can't promise anything, man, but you can maybe see another Punk Gang episode. These gentlemen, We have a lot to talk about together, you know. And we'll see what happens. And David, fucking appreciate you, dog. You're amazing in this community.
You too, guys.
Man. And yeah, man, I'm excited to chat. Keep watching, keep supporting, keep helping, you know.
Oh yeah.
Love y'all. Seriously.
Somebody in the chat is asking for your guys' socials. Go ahead and tell them where to find you.
Oh, okay, cool. You want to go first? Or?
Yeah, well, on Twitter, it's Your Magic, or you can just type my name, Kareem Majito. I think you just type in the chat. So me, super simple. It's the same across, right? So same thing on IG. If you want to see what the life looks like when you delay gratification, you definitely don't want to miss that. So it's just the same name, Kareem Majito, on Twitter, on IG, and all the socials. So don't hesitate to reach out. You never know. You know, we're a friendly community. Come correct, of course, but don't hesitate to reach out. And if you're ever in Miami, I'll at your boy.
Mine is Marco.Hexkin on Twitter, and on YouTube is Crafting with Crypto. So those are 2 places you can find me. But yeah, man, guys, enjoy your week, enjoy your day. We gotta get prepared for this party coming up. Yeah, man, this was fun. This was cool.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, David, for being on. We appreciate you, and everybody will be back next week with another episode, as always, Tuesday and Thursday nights. And make sure to like and follow everything that's happening here in Vegas. We're really lucky to have a community of people that's so strong. So for now, signing out. Stake wisely, my friends.
Bang, bang.
We're about to go soon, okay? Go get Jim back.
Wait, ciao.